What's up, everyone? CryptoSavy here. I hope everyone's having a fabulous day. We're going to take a look at Bitcoin and Litecoin, and will this rally continue? What's the targets? Definitely stick around. It should be interesting. Also, don't forget there's a free Discord group in the description below the video. Let's get on with the video. All right, guys, as always, this is not financial advice, trading advice, or investment advice. There is a disclaimer on the bottom. Definitely check it out. Fear and Greed Index, we are at 40. I'm going to zip through this pretty quick, guys. I am running late. So Fear and Greed Index went down 1 point from yesterday from 41 to 40. Let's look at Bitcoin and where we're at now. As you can see, we are still in this formation, which I believe to be a giant bull flag. It just went down a little further than I expected. But we've been talking about the EMAs here. We closed our monthly above the, or actually, yeah, we actually started our new monthly above the 21 EMA. Now we're above the 13, and we're trying to get above the 8. We're getting resistance right here at 8,000. We'll talk about that. Let's go into the weekly. All right, this one's going to take a second. I'm going to go into the weekly first and show you what I'm looking at as a possibility here and why I have these targets here. Obviously, the 8,500 is the top of this falling wedge. And if that breaks, it's going to be pretty bullish, guys. I'd be looking for the $11,000 range. And I will show you why. If we take the Fibonacci extension and take it from the swing high up here, our 2017 high, bring it down to the swing low. As you can see, I'll zoom in. The golden pocket's right here between the 0.618 and 0.65, and that's exactly where we topped out in our 13K rally, almost 14K. And if we do the same thing over here, from the top of this, the swing high over here to the swing low, which I do believe the bottom's in, I've been talking about that. The retracement zone, the Fibonacci golden pocket between the 0.65 and the 0.618 would be right there around the 11,000 zone, which also lines up with this trend line I have drawn here. And you can see the thicker white trend line that is looking at this and the orange line as a triangle. We could look at or be looking at something of this, something like this. If we break out here, you know, we could come up to that 11,000, get resistance, come all the way back down and test this line before going and breaking up, which would get us around, you know, right around the halving time. So that's what I'm looking at now. We do daily updates here, so make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and leave your comments. It really helps the channel out, and you can also win a free t-shirt on Sunday by leaving a comment in today's video. Anyways, so that's what I'm looking at now. Like I said, just if it was to play out like this, 11,000 would be the area I'd be watching up here. But I also want to point out, keep in mind, there's still a possibility of lower lows that people have been calling forever. And the first one being around the 5,400, which will line up around the 200 EMA on the weekly. The second one being this bottom orange trend line here at around 4,900, and that's only if this trend line breaks. So as of now, like I said, I think the bottom's in. Let's look at the RSI. Looking at the RSI, we have the red line that we've been watching here, which has been support. We capitulated past it back in 2014, broke back above in 2015, and continued on with the bull market all the way to 2017. Then we started our bear market. Same thing, capitulated past that support line, broke back above it, came back down, tested it for support just like we did over here, and now I believe we're continuing up. Also, I believe we broke out of this wedge in the RSI in the weekly. I did have this line up here, but I think it makes more sense down here because it goes off of the same support and resistance as we do in this wedge. So let's go into the daily. And we'll go into Litecoin after this, guys. Let's look at the daily and where I think we are headed from here, most likely. And that would be a measured move from this white falling wedge right here. If we put that up to where we broke out, that gets us right up, lining up with the 200 EMA on the daily, guys, and that's right around the 8150. I do believe it's possible we run all the way up to 8500 within the next day or two, being the resistance line of this bigger falling wedge here. So that's a possibility. Keep it in mind, guys. We might correct after this 8150 range. We'll talk about that in a second also. But like I said, this 5400 is actually the Fibonacci retracement. 0.786 Fibonacci retracement. Let me put this in here real quick. On the bottom where we bottomed out over here, where the rally ended. And as you can see, the 5400 lines up at that 0.786. But we have been holding good here above the golden pocket zone. So I'm still bullish here, still looking at the higher targets, unless we were to break below this low over here around 64.30, right around that area. So let's look at the also, as you notice, the volume is declining here within this formation. We're looking like we're going to have a huge breakout. If this 8500 was to break out, guys, that's going to be pretty epic. Let's look at the RSI here. All right, as you can see in the RSI, we've broken out of this falling wedge. I'm sorry, falling channel. And I also have this trend line here, which might give us some resistance, and that's probably going to be around that 8150 zone, right in, like I said, the 200 EMA there. But chances are we may pop through that and get, like I said, up to that 8500 range. So keep that in mind. Also, I want to remind you guys, we have a members group that's going to be in much more detail. There's a join button down in the description, or not in the description, but next to the subscribe button. If you can't see it, you're probably on an iPhone. You need to be on a computer if you can't see it on your phone. So hit the join button. There's 3 different levels there. Check it out. If you have any questions, you can email me. My email is in the description. Scroll down to the bottom below the affiliate links, which also help the channel out. All right, let's look at the 4-hour. So the 4-hour, our targets been hitting. Yesterday we had the target here at 75.80, and if that broke, I said we were going at least to the 78.86, which we have, and now that's become support, guys. I do believe this 80.85 target is next, and I'll show you why. That is the measured move. If you look here, we have this yellow falling wedge that we've broken out of. If we take the measured move of that, guys, and bring it up here, that gets us up to around that 80.85 zone. And remember, the 200 EMA on the daily is right around 81.50. So somewhere in this range, I do believe we're headed there now. We might get there before this video is out. But I'll take a look at these other targets also, so you guys can see what I'm looking at. I also have this one at, let me move this over a little bit. I also have this one at 83.24, and I'll show you in the 1 hour how I got that one. But ultimately, if we looked at this right here as a falling wedge in the thick white line, take a measured move of that, measuring the widest point, where we broke out, guys, that gets us up around the 8,900. So that's another target that could very well happen, but obviously, first I'm looking for these around the 8,100 and 83.24, and I'll show you that one in the 1 hour in a minute. Keep in mind, we could come up here and come all the way back down, retrace, test the top of this wedge, which could be around the 75.54. I would not panic unless we dropped below this. I mean, and then I wouldn't even panic, but I'm just saying, don't be surprised if we come back down and retest here. We could, depending on how high we go here, 77 might be the retest, which has been, you know, the neckline basically right here. People were looking at this as an inverse head and shoulders, which is definitely a possibility. But yeah, and if all this was to fail, you know, we got to look at the lower lows. But like I said, unless we, you know, drop past these supports here, old resistance, nothing to worry about. We are pretty damn bullish here, guys. Let's look at the RSI, and this goes with what I was saying here. As you can see in the RSI, we broke out of this falling channel, and then I had the white falling channel in here, which we have broken out of, and it looked like we formed a inverse head and shoulders here. But I do believe we'll be, let me zoom in a little bit so you can see it. I do believe it's possible we come up and retest the top of this red rising wedge, or rising channel. I keep saying rising wedge, man. It's early in the morning, guys. As you guys know, if you watch my channel, I get up super early to make these videos for you and then head off to work. So anyways, yeah, we could be coming up test top of that. That could be around that 81.34s or 81.24 zone. Let me show you where I got that. If we go into the 1 hour, and then Litecoin's next, so stick around. But looking at right here, we had a rising falling wedge in the RSI in the 1 hour. We broke out of it, came back down, tested for support, and we look to be continuing up from here. And if you guys belong to the Discord, you've seen I posted this morning right here. If we look at this, it was lower lows in the RSI, higher lows in the, and I called that before this broke right here, but it's higher lows in the price action, which is hidden bullish divergence. I had told them it's going to break out to around the 8100 range, and it looks to be happening. So let's see if we're going to get up to this target here. But let's look at the other target, which is a possibility. Like I said, that 83.24 range, and that being a measured move of this breakout right here. Zoom in a little bit, and looking at this as a bull flag. Another thing I wanted to point out is the EMAs are super bullish, guys. I forgot to point that out. I'll zip back through them. But 83.24 is a measured move of this bull flag breakout, measuring this as a flag pull, this is bull flag. That is what I'm looking at. And then after this, we could come all the way back down, retest the 7,700, maybe as low as the 75.59. But once we broke through this became support, guys. It's 78.86. So if we get up this high, we may only retrace back over into this area, depending on how high we go. So I will try to keep you guys updated. Let's I want to look at the 4 hour RSI, and then the EMAs, and then we're going to look at the daily EMAs also. If you look here, we've had the 55 cross the 200 EMA on the 4 hour. Super bullish, guys. Back to the daily, same thing. Daily, all of the EMAs have turned up. The 8 EMA on the daily, if we close up in here tonight, the 8 EMA will be crossing the 55 here, bullish. All right, Litecoin, let's do a quick run through on this, and we'll start out with the 4 hour and just go down to the 1 hour, and that should be enough for Litecoin. But as you can see with Litecoin, look at the EMAs here. They've all turned up. The 8, the 13, and the 21 have crossed the 200 EMA. 55 is on its way. This was our target yesterday that hit, and we were watching this resistance line up here, and we did poke through it yesterday. I believe we're probably going to continue up through it today. Let me get this out of the way. And if we do, the measured move, measuring this as a rising channel, gets us up to the 52.58 range. And if I also have another measured move, looking at this, if you look at this white line here going up, this resistance line, which we had poked through. And usually on my resistance line, if we poke through, I believe we're going to continue to poke through. So, but looking at this as a rising wedge, and if we took a measured move of the rising wedge to where we could break out, that actually gets us up to around the $53 range. So keep an eye on these areas, guys. If this breaks, we could be headed up that direction. And then if we do get up in here, we're obviously going to have some resistance at the 49. Maybe come up here, come back down, retest this for support, and continue on up. But either way, once we break above this 45.55, I think that'll become good support. If not, if we do get a dump here, guys, I'm looking at the $40 range. This is the bearish case scenario, which I don't think is going to happen. But again, do your own due diligence. Don't trade off what I'm telling you. That's why we have the members group to help out with trading. So anyways, but if you do join the members group, you will be asked just a paper trade until you can continuously make profitable trades. But if we did break down past that $40 range, we would have this trend line here for support at 38.55. Next stop 33.75. But guys, like I said, it looks pretty damn bullish here. Let's go into the 8 hour real quick. Not the 8 hour. I don't even play with the 8 hour. Let's go into the daily. Look at the EMAs on the daily. And if we look at those, just like Bitcoin, they're all turning up nice and bullish. And yeah, it's looking bullish, guys. There's no other way to really look at it. We may see some small corrections here and there, but as of now, it's looking pretty freaking bullish. Let's go into the 1 hour. I don't remember if I looked at anything in the 1 hour. Yeah, same thing in the 1 hour. I mean, everything's bullish, guys. It looks pretty damn good. There's nothing else to say. Thanks for watching. Definitely don't forget to click the CryptoSavy logo above my head if you enjoyed the video. That'll get you subscribed to the channel. Tick the notification bell to get you notified when I post new videos. Smash those likes. Leave your comments. I will see you later. I'll try to do a live stream tonight, guys. Take it easy. Have a great day.